How's it going today, everybody? Got big deals in trucking today. Kind of been talking about this a little bit. I'm surprised there's not being more companies being bought out right now with the lack of equipment and the lack of, drivers out here and the price of freight. I'm surprised the bigger guys are not buying out more people than they already are. So this video today is about Hirshbach. Now, if you guys know me, I don't really care for Hirshbach. I don't like how they do their drivers. I don't like that lease purchase deal. I don't like none of it. But if you want to go over there and work, it's up to you. You go do what you want to. But I think it's a pretty crummy deal they got over there. But I feel sorry for the Lessor drivers, because if you didn't know, Hirshbach bought Lessor. Now, they're not talking about money because it's private companies and they don't have to talk about money. So I'll read you the article real quick. This is from FreightWaves. Refrigerated carrier Hirshbach Motor Lines announced Wednesday that it has acquired Eagan, Minnesota-based Lessor. Black Freightliners, white trailers with black writing. Lessor, L-E-S-S-O-R. The acquisition of Lessor, also a temperature-controlled operator with approximately 200 drivers. That's my opinion. Hirshbach they got more money than God, because they pay a horrible rate on that lease purchase. So typically they make more off a mile than you do as an owner operator over there with that lease purchase. You can pay anywhere from $1,000 to $1,300 for an international LT over there. But basically, that's my opinion of what's going on here. Hirshbach's buying drivers. They need drivers. They have a huge turnover over there. It's, over 100% from what I hear. People just come and go and come and go. But, so, Lessor had 200 drivers, nearly 300 power units. I looked up their Safer Web. It says 200 drivers, 294 power units over there. It brings the Hirshbach fleet, the dumpster fire that is Hirshbach. It brings them to 2,400 drivers and owner-operators and 3,500 trailers is what this says. I think that might mean, trailers. I don't know how many tractors they got. Financial terms of the transaction is not disclosed, because they don't have to. The CEO of Hirshbach says, we're excited to welcome the Lessor drivers along with their mechanics, office staff, and other Hirshbach family, said Brad Pinchuk, CEO of the Dubuque, Iowa-based Hirshbach. It's an organization I've admired for decades, he said. He probably said, I can't wait to get my hands on that and run it in the ground, as far as from the driver's standpoint. Hirshbach, I'm sure, very profitable. Like I say, they make more money off a mile than you do as an owner-operator over there. Pinchuk said Lessor service and safety record and low driver turnover. Notice he pointed out that low driver turnover, they love that. Low driver turnover was some of the factors behind the decision to acquire the almost 40-year-old fleet. Lessor specializes in transporting time-sensitive, temperature-controlled freight from 3 different terminals: Eagan, Minnesota, Dover, Florida, and Caldwell, Idaho. So your typical, they're your typical reefer company. They've been in business for 40 years. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to become more common because interest rates are cheap. These companies can borrow money. They're showing huge numbers right now because rates are up and, rebidding contracts at higher rates. And, basically what they need to complete the transaction over there at Hirshbach is more drivers and more equipment. And hey, here you go. They're going to start buying them up. It's going to become more common. In this article down the bottom, it says this announcement follows another recent acquisition involving 2 other reefer truckload carriers. On June 16th, Hell Truck Lines, H-E-Y-L Truck Lines, y'all know them. They're from Iowa. You probably seen them. They got like 2 hands shaking hands on their trailer. One's Canadian, one's American. They announced that it acquired regional carrier Holiday Express, not the hotels, the truck line, Holiday Express, in a deal. They combine 2 Iowa-based reefer carriers. So there you go. There's going to be more and more of this. I guarantee you this is the tip of the iceberg of the acquisition season. You know, we're just starting to get to that point to where, you know, these big numbers are starting to affect annual reports. You know, reefer rates started going through the roof. About this time last year, like last May and June, we started seeing a real rise in reefer rates. So that's what we're dealing with. We're seeing the annual, you know, people are showing huge. It's a good time to sell as well. You know, if your annual report shows, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars of gross, you know, you can sell, you know, at 1 times annual gross and make a killing, you know, plus equipment and whatnot. You know, it didn't really talk in the article, but I know a guy that used to work for Lessor. He used to run a contract freight, so I'm sure they got lots of contract freight being a bigger company like that. They're not huge, you know, being at, you know, 200 drivers, 294 power units. Not sure how that works, how you would have 100 more power units than you would drivers. Maybe they're considering trailers as power units. I'm not sure how that works, you know, because that's a little weird to have. You know, most companies have more drivers than they do power units. I'm not sure why it's shaped out like that, but buckle up, guys. Let me know in the comments who you think's coming next. Who's a good acquisition target? You know, I think here's what the criteria of a good acquisition target is for me. Now, it would be a mid-sized company like Lessor. Lessor's a perfect candidate. Let's just base it off of what they are. You know, mid-sized trucking company. You know, located in good areas. You know, Egan, Minnesota's a good area. Caldwell, Idaho's a good reefer area. You know, and having a terminal in Florida couldn't hurt. But companies like that have good property, they have a decent amount of equipment, but more importantly, low turnover. Like, these companies are going to be looking for these low turnover companies, because these companies that can't keep drivers, they figure, hey, instead of spending $5,000, $10,000, you know, just to get a driver in our door, and he turns around and realizes he's just walked into a big, you know, dumpster fire, and he walks right back out the door. Let's buy a company, use their drivers, you know, and these guys that's been at Lessor for, you know, 10 or 15 years, the issue is, you know, if they've got seniority, they've got vacation time, they've got stuff like that, they're not going to just walk away from it. So it's kind of like you got them in a little bit of a cage there, you know. Do they walk away? Do they leave all their vacation time to go do something else? Possibly, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you know of any acquisition targets, who you would think would be good. But I'm surprised Heartland and Knight and all these other Hirshbach, you know, these companies that grow by buying other companies, I'm surprised they're not growing like crazy right now. You know, maybe they're waiting to buy on a dip, but it seems like Hirshbach they bought at the top of the market right here. I mean, I hope the market goes higher, but this is pretty high up in the market for them. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. If you made it this far, hit me with a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. If you're not subscribed, check out that description down below for the Mudflap app. If you buy your own fuel, save money. Give me $10 in free fuel, you $10 in free fuel, and I much appreciate that. Check out my other channel, Trucking with Diabetes. I appreciate it. Everybody stay safe out there. Take care of each other. Thanks for watching.